Even more dangerous because I'm terrified it's going to collapse, as it did earlier on this evening. I've got many people to thank, not least His Excellency Archbishop Menini, who has been kindness itself since I first got to know him, and who works tirelessly for the Holy See, in particularly helping us to grow in communion and also to provide us with new members of the hierarchy to help build and solidify that communion in the Church. And for all your work, Your Excellency, and Monsignor Brady, who helps you, and Monsignor Eloy, who I used to study with, and for Father Domenico Zanri, who works down in the Nunciature. Thank you very much for all your hard work. I want to thank Bishop Vincent. I've known Bishop Vincent for 38 years, and he was very young then, and he still looks younger than me now. If you get a new pair of legs, Your Excellency is willing to take on another diocese for another 25 years. He's got a cheeky smile as well. We used to joke together because together we used to impersonate Cardinal Gray. And Cardinal Gray's niece is possibly here tonight, and she's a wonderful lady from St. Peter and Paul's Parish in Dundee, but I used to do no mean impersonation of His the Eminence Cardinal Gray, who for many years brought the good sisters into the diocese. And then we used to Bishop Monaghan, who was a lovely man, who I had the great privilege to be an assistant priest to. Bishop Vincent got a couple of his bad habits from him. One of them was, very good now. I'm sure you've all seen them many times. Very good, Bishop Vincent. I'd like to thank all my brother bishops and all the the chapter of Dunkeld and the College of Consultors who were here last night as well. And I know that already coming to this diocese, there are so many wonderful priests, and I know also that they are working at absolute full stretch. We're very short of priests, and one of my first tasks will be to try and get some more help in the diocese so that we can not only serve the people with the sacraments, that's vitally important, but to build up communion in love means concentrated pastoral work, and that can be only done with time and many hands to help that. Pastoral work, the work of a shepherd, involves being able to serve the people, but also to be able to rest and to have time to think and reflect. And so many of our priests nowadays don't have that time to think and reflect because of the many demands that are made on them, with larger communities to serve, greater number of communities to serve, and also less time to be able to build up their own spiritual lives in prayer and in meditation of God's Word. We can't give what we don't have, and we need to have Christ present in our lives through prayer and through the sacraments if we are to hand on that gift of Christ to others. I want to thank all my brother priests here from Diocese of Glasgow and Motherwell and Paisley and Aberdeen, the young man here down from Shetland, which is another continent, I think, as Bishop We've also got priests here from the Archdiocese of St Andrews in Edinburgh, and friends of mine, friends of the support group. We've got many priests who serve in this diocese from all over the world, faithfully serve this diocese from all over the world. We've got the secretaries of the Bishops' Conference, and all those who have come, former students maybe, that were in Rome when I was there, and even in Blair's, and it's lovely to see you all here. We've even got different rites. Father has just come from the new priest who's the Ukrainian priest in Edinburgh, but he'll be coming here to celebrate the Divine Liturgy as well for the Ukrainian community here in Dundee and Dunkeld. I want to thank my brother bishops who have been nothing but absolutely kindness itself since I became a bishop, and who, many of them, are still taking on onerous responsibilities, even in retirement. But for all of them, and Archbishop Tartaglia sent his regards to all of us. He was unable to come tonight due to a prior engagement, but telephoned me just before the celebration tonight. There's one person here I want to single out, and you shouldn't single anybody out, but I think he deserves great thanks for all that he has done, and I'm terribly serious about this. At the age of 81, Monsignor Basil, who took on the work of administering this diocese when Bishop Vincent retired, and did so with great care and love and devotion, and in a prayerful way, but fantastic sense of humour. It's ably aided by Monsignor Ken, who's over here, who was his general delegate during that period, and I want to thank them very, very much for all the work that they did on behalf of the church during that period of Sede Vacante. She's a very nice girl, Sede Vacante. You'll get to know her. There are quite a few members of the Vacante family in Scotland at the moment, but His Excellency is soon going to remedy that. Just remember Sede Vacante. You don't want to see her too often, but she is very, very nice. I just had an epiphany moment here and thought of the new developments going on behind the cathedral, the so-called Titanic quarter, which is quite spectacular. And standing here in this pulpit, the highest I've ever been in my life, not only do I need oxygen, but I also feel like saying, "Jack, I'm flying!" I want to thank again the choir tonight, who are absolutely wonderful. The diocesan choir of almost 70 people who have got angelic voices, ably assisted by the angelic Father Kevin Golden. As I said last night, I'm awfully glad I taught you to play the organ, Kevin. Kevin was a boy in Blair's when I was in Blair's. And finally, and I'm bound to have missed somebody out, apart from Mary, which I've just remembered, and thanked last night, who is a wonderful organist. I've been shepherded in the sanctuary by Tom, who is the best MC I've ever seen in action. I also want to thank the altar servers. And there's one man who is left to thank, and that is Archbishop Leo, who was my boss before I came here, who himself was just recently consecrated Archbishop of St Andrews in Edinburgh. He has been a great support and a friend, and during the time when I was helping Archbishop Tartaglia to administer the Archdiocese of St Andrews in Edinburgh, he was a tremendous support. When he came to Edinburgh, he has really restored a tremendous sense of calm and communion in the diocese already. There's lots of work still to do, but I want to thank him for his lovely words this evening, his very helpful words this evening, and for his kindness and for his friendship. He's also a metropolitan. I have to remember that I'm a man under authority. Not too much authority though. And standing here in this pulpit, the authority goes to your heat, so you better watch it. Our deacons, and most importantly, and last of all, I want to thank the good people of Dunkeld, who have been so kind and so affectionate to me since I arrived. I've been backwards and forwards up the A9 and the A92 like I don't know what, but they've been kindness itself, and Monsignor Ken has been looking after me, and his housekeeper and his curate, Father Beatus, is here. I got a lovely letter yesterday from the Superior General of the Jesuits, and he was surprised to know that Father Nicholas, who's the Black Pope they call him, knows where Father Beatus is, so you better watch it. And he's not getting you back either. Thank you very much.